Welcome to the 9PL podcast, where we deep dive into the world of the Your Hub Nines Premier League and bring you the latest updates, insights and discussions. Today, we're interviewing Titan IND Brisbane Qualifier team for Brisbane, the Wide Bay Renegade, with Danny Blair. Danny, thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
So give us the background of the Wide Bay Renegade and I suppose the origin story of it and how it got unearthed.
Yeah, well, obviously I went there for work as a Dolphins NRL game development officer for Wide Bay and working with the region to try and, come up with different, ways to continue the development of players within the region. I helped out the Wide Bay Bulls in their campaign, which unfortunately they didn't have such a successful 19s.
Yeah.
And through that, they kind of, with discussion with the QRL, it was designed, they kind of said, well, we'll just go back to 17s and, they removed the 19s from the Wide Bay Bulls campaign. So that left a large hole for a lot of players in the region as part of their development or even opportunities. So talking to a few of the players and just thinking, outside the box a little bit, the Vegas Nines popped up and I thought, well, that'd be a great opportunity. Most of the blokes haven't even left Queensland, let alone go overseas. And I was a little bit worried about taking them to Vegas, but, but from that further discussion, I offered to a few different clubs if they wanted to take it up. And, unfortunately, there was a few people who went, oh, look, it probably isn't going to go ahead. So that's where I just came up with the idea, well, let's form something and, provide opportunities for players within the region. So the Wide Bay Renegades got formed.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
And it's for a lot of, I suppose, those community teams itself, if you're out of a metro setting, trying to come up and create more pathways for those can be difficult at times, but ultimately it also can't be difficult because so many people back it and go, I want to jump in or I want to play or I'm happy to, fork out some sponsorship dollars for you to get over there. This is great because it's just giving more opportunity. Have you found that whole process, obviously creating your own? Yeah,
it's obviously has its challenges, but, sitting there and a lot of the players were very much on board with it. Like they were like, wow, that'd be an awesome opportunity.
Cool.
So it wasn't just about playing football. It was about creating experience. As we all know, the stats, a lot of players don't go on to make it to the highest levels. So it's about, keeping them involved in the game and, something that they can sit there when they're 50, 60 and tell the grandkids, well, when I was playing footy, I went over to Vegas and played, or, I went and played for the Nines Premier League, against all these wonderful players.
Yeah.
So that's where that kind of it's been easy to sell that, and then sponsors there. We're very lucky to have a few really good sponsors that they do a lot of sponsorship in the region, and they were more than happy to jump on board. Like Rum City Foods, they're our major sponsor. So
I suppose it's not a difficult sell when you're able to have all the right pieces in place, right? Like if you've got the players on board, communities on board, most of the time. If either one of those are there, then you sort of got some traction and you can get ready to go.
Yeah.
What was the interest of jumping into the Brisbane Qualifier for?
Obviously watching the NIPL before that, and everyone's like, oh wow, wouldn't it be good if we could get a team in there?
Yeah.
And I was, you look at so many of the names that are playing in there and the teams, and you're like, oh. We're just a little bush footy kind of, club. So, it'd be a great experience, but I don't know about the performance side of it. And then as we went over and, we started to get more people involved and, we got more interest from players that were from Brisbane and, recently retired players from, Q Cup and NRL and that were like, oh, that'd be a good experience. Suddenly it started going, oh, well, maybe we could do something like that. And then when the qualifier came up, it was like, you know what, we're doing all these tournaments already, it'd be great to be able to put that into the calendar and, like throw a hat in the ring and actually give it a go and see what happens.
Yeah, and it's very surprising because albeit we've had some fantastic names and squads of predominantly NRL, ex-NRL players, and if you're 2 years on the couch and you try and play in a Nines tournament against the Bush team that actually runs around and is keen on representing their area, it's a difficult one to actually try and get over the top of. So I'm keen on seeing sort of how you guys go. Are you recruiting directly from or people who have actually got ties to Wide Bay District or area?
So the whole idea was that we want people who have either played through the Wide Bay Ball system or within the Wide Bay region. And then obviously people have moved away for opportunities who grew up in Wide Bay, and suddenly it's like, oh, well, there's something that we can do going back and giving back.
Yeah.
So, a lot of those people have reached out and wanted to be a part of it. So that's kind of, So the NPL side will probably be a bit different to the sides that we normally put in.
Yep.
Where there will be a large part of the squad will be the local boys.
Yep.
But, there's a few things that I've worked on to try and create an experience within an experience.
Yeah,
and they might have the opportunity to play with a couple of players that, may have recently retired this year and things like that. But
brilliant.
we're just in talks, so I won't say anything else. But
we love a name drop on here. And it keeps them committed, right? So we'll clip it and make sure it's all over the socials so they're in.
Yeah, that'd be good.
But there's a really healthy sort of pipeline of players that have came out of Wide Bay. I hated playing Wide Bay when I was a kid. It was Chris Sando and Josh Costello were the halves. You could never go into a Queensland trial at all because they were always picked. Like before you even got to the tournament, you knew it. There's so many other kids, obviously from Bundy, Gympie, all the way to Harvey Bay. Like it's such a concentrated area, and people sort of, don't look at it, too many times. But then you have a look through the list of current NRL players or former players.
Yep.
And you'll have Tino playing for the Wide Bay Renegades at some stage when he finishes up in 2 decades.
Yeah, Tino, if you're not aligned to a side right now, I'm sure Ant's got my number. You can pass it on. More than happy to have you on.
Well, who have you got that you can name drop that's having a run for you in the Nines Premier League?
Probably no big names, but obviously the players that we do have, like Mitchell Butler, will be definitely our standout.
Yep.
He's from Brizzy. I think he played a bit of Q Cup with East and things like that. He's just recently played in the Bundy comp.
Yeah, okay.
And player's player, most points. I think he scored like over 100. I think he got 188 points for the season.
Jeez.
Loves taking his shirt off. He's one of those blokes, but really good player. Plays off the cuff. Nines footy really suits him. So I think he'd probably have a large portion of our attention, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Kylo Dwyer, he's another one. He's just a former boxer, so he's got the great physique and just one of those front rowers or second rowers that'll just go all day and he'll plug up the middle really well for us.
Great.
They're probably the most senior players.
Yep.
I've got my young bloke. He just turned 18. He's playing at Murray Carnival at the moment. We took him over to Vegas as a 17-year-old.
Oh, yeah.
Opened his eyes to a few things first time overseas. He's our 9, so but he's really growing with the experience of being able to play with a lot of the senior players and obviously going overseas and playing as well. So this will be another opportunity for him to, grow as well as a player. I think anyone who went away really came back as a stronger player.
Yeah.
So another one's Dan Kavanagh.
Okay.
He plays on the edges, so he can either be a centre or a second row. So they're all local blokes.
Great.
And they stand up every time that we take the field. So I think they'll be ones to watch, and then obviously whoever else we'll bring in.
No. Well, I'm looking forward to that name drop. But obviously those ones who aren't earthing, who are your own, even better because they've had experience in the team. They know what yous are all about, and obviously playing for the Renegades means something to them as well. So that's a tricky part with some of these exhibition teams, particularly with the ex-NRL influence. They come back because it's just a game of footy and having a run around. But if you're actually from an area, we're fortunate enough to have a few Mount Isa Warriors are jumping in as well. They're going to make the trip down. We've got a couple we've got Dolby, Diehards, they're going to jump in as well. So we've got some of these teams. I wouldn't sleep on them, like you guys as well. It's all well and good to go, oh, we don't really know the area. You're like, yeah, that's fine.
Yep.
You have to try and defend them or attack against them in 9 minutes, and it can be fast and very, very unpredictable. So I'm excited to see. Are you having a run?
No, not me. I'm a long time ago. You might say I had a bit of a shiner there because my knee went out on me and I fell over. So that's how good I go.
Just walking. Oh, mate.
Yeah.
We've got to make sure our insurance policy's up there before you get through the gate. Are you saying what style are you looking for, or what you currently do with coaching, particularly nights, different to 13?
Like I said, we went over first time playing nines. It really took us a little bit to warm up to it. We're so used to playing a 13-a-side structure where, bang a couple in the middle and, maybe fourth or fifth hit it out wide, whereas, you can't do that in nines. Like, you might be able to bang one in the middle, but where's the gaps, all the spaces? It's all going to be out around the edges or out a bit wider. So we had to really learn to play. It was probably our third game in that we started playing, like, off the cuff, playing what's in front of us, trying to get 2-on-1s, and things like that. And, once we started to do that, that's where we started to get into the game and really start coming, playing good footy. So we've been able to learn from that, and hopefully Mendy will be another one that we can work a little bit more on, and then come into NIPL a little bit fresher with that game plan. But really depends on, like I said, the players that we've got. If we're, a little bit, we've got mobile forwards, and that might be a little bit different to having a couple of heavy set forwards to some speedy backs and that. So game plan's still kind of up in the air a little bit, but we really like to play off the cuff and read what's in front of us and have a go whenever we can, whether it's the first tackle or the last tackle. If there's an opportunity, I'm more than happy for the players to take it. And if it doesn't come off, then we just got to defend for a set and get that ball back. But
how do you find that? I mean, whenever I ask that question of how you're going to play, immediately all of our guests go straight into what it looks like attacking-wise. Defensively is different as well. Like whether you defend with one marker or two markers, if you're chasing from the inside out, have you sort of got any insight to how you like your teams to defend?
Yeah, obviously our mark system.
Not that you want to give away too much to the
I was going to say, I probably won't give too much away, but we have a system around our markers. Like I said, it really depends on the teams that we come up against, how we work defensively. Like I said, if they're a heavy set pack, then we're pretty sure that they'll probably run through the middle and create space out wide. We've got some good blokes out wide defensively, so I'm pretty happy that we can either do a slide or an up and in. But realistically, it's whoever's in front of you with the ball, you got to take them. So you can't let them show and go. These the games, if they do that, usually they're scoring under the post.
Yes,
because they're that type of player.
No, that makes sense. It is a difficult one, and I think your approach is clever. It's just find out who you're playing first, which we'll have our live draw in a month's time as well, which will be interesting because we'll know well out who you will be playing. In terms of who they name drop, might be a bit like you and hold the cards close. But as part of our comp, we always encourage our teams to have a not-for-profit. Any winnings that go towards it, if you didn't have one, it normally defaults into ours. But do you have a not-for-profit that you get around or a charity at this stage, if not?
Not as such. There is one in Bundaberg that we really would like to support. It's Brave Brothers in Bundaberg. So, men's mental health and everything, dealing with that kind of thing. So, if we do have opportunities to provide back to them, that's something we'd definitely like to do.
Brilliant.
They're a great organisation. They're always looking for people to, donate or anything else like that. It'd be a worthy cause to get on board.
No, that's great. It's we've had some really, really good charity partners of our teams obviously be unearthed, and any not-for-profit is worth mentioning and getting around. So we're appreciative of obviously you guys looking into your own and having it sort of unearthed out of Bundy is even better. I suppose that's who you guys will be supporting if you are successful, and you already are successful, and it's right. Who's helping support you guys? I mean, you've mentioned Rum City Food before, but who gets around the Renegade?
Like I said,
sponsors-wise?
We're fairly brand new. We're fairly new, so we only really got established towards the end of last year to prepare for, Vegas, and then suddenly we went, there's this big world of nines out there that not many people know about.
Yeah.
So like I've just sat down, like Rum City Foods, they're a major supporter of us. They're fantastic for the region, for supporting the region as well. We've got Brahman Business Group. So that's through a company that I run. So I'll probably pay a lot of money into it myself.
Yeah.
But there's Learn and Play Kindergartens, Wide Bay Bulls. They actually support us.
Oh, great.
I work a lot with them, so they understand that, for the development of players in their region, after they play 17s, there's not much for people to keep people in Wide Bay. So they're more than happy to jump on board and, help us facilitate that for them.
Yep.
So, and then all the local leagues like the Junior Rugby League there, a lot of the clubs like Eastern Suburbs Magpies and Harvey Bay Seagulls.
Yeah.
They tip in a little bit because they have a large amount of players playing for them.
Yep.
That want to do it as well. So, so there's a good community support. We're always open to more community support. So if there's anyone out there who'd like to get on board,
no doubt,
get in contact.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it is a difficult one, and I find even having conversations with former NRL players who've got huge profiles, they find it difficult to actually find that. But if you've got the right foundations there, be it a good team, good coach, and some buy-in, a lot of people are happy to support and jump on board. If they get a trip to Vegas as well, it might be beneficial.
No, but and for Mendy, we've got T&M Mechanical from Gladstone. They've jumped on board this year. Wave Sports Club through our association with the Dolphins, and then obviously the Dolphins NRL supported as well. So through me, allowing me to do this stuff as part of game development in the region.
Oh, so, brilliant! Jeez, you're wearing many hats, mate.
Try to,
busy. Well, what can we look forward to, and what can we expect from the Renegades from now, leading up into the Nines?
Obviously we've got Mendy coming up, so that'll they're more of the localised players. So we'll probably just go on the community one for that to blood them into the game of nines.
Yep.
And then we'll see from there. We've still got a couple of local spots for the 9PL. So, we'll be looking at them to see who could jump up into that space.
Okay.
And then, it's basically talking to a few people here in Brizzy and that to get them on board, and we can make some announcements once we do that. And then, we're looking at hopefully if you keep doing this each year, and we'd be more than happy to keep putting our hand up to come into that. I'm trying to make it a proper circuit of nines. Once the regular season finishes, the 13-a-side, getting the Renegades to have a proper nines season, which then leads into the new 13-a-side season.
Yeah, it's great.
Giving them more footy, giving them more experiences. So
no, that's brilliant, and I think you're doing a wonderful job. It's. I think the area itself, obviously, the Renegades would be stoked to have someone who's trailblazing and making these opportunities available. And we're stoked to have you. Very, very appreciative of obviously the travel and the distance that you have to do. But we look forward to obviously putting on a great event and having you guys included. So thanks very much for your time, mate. And I look forward to catching up. Probably in a month's time when we do the line draw.
Yeah, no, thanks for having us, and thanks for putting on such a great opportunity for players in the region.
Appreciate it.
Good stuff.
Thank you, mate.